there is a secret measuring tool that men use that might help you out. Man, I need some new nursing bras, but I have no idea what size I am because they've changed so much. My husband goes, hold up, I got this. Proceeds to walk up to them and just...
I knew it! How the did he just do something with his hands and he actually...
one. Until finally he goes... This one. It was perfect.
Hi YouTube, welcome back in hell. My name is Cypress and today we'll be watching another Advocate video. This is Womansplaining Men to Women 52 to 55.
So this creator matched with a gentleman on Bumble, they set up a date, and then the night before he sends her this. Hey there, I was excited for tomorrow and did a little pre-date Googling just now and saw your TikTok. Well, I thought some of the videos were funny. Others, for example, the one about all men being trash, made me pause and gave me the impression we're not the right partner fit.
Why is it always the subpar motherfuckers that end up ghosting? Like, you show up to the date and you're kind of like, yeah, he's not as good as a profile, but like, we'll work it out. And then the date doesn't go that well, but you're like, well, it was probably your first date. I had jitters, he had jitters. It could be better, so we'll try again. And then they have the audacity to ghost you.
But it's so funny because she says, what was the word she used? She calls him subpar. Just because you think he is subpar doesn't mean that you're way better than him or anything like that.
That end up ghosting. Like, you show up to the date and you're kind of like, yeah, he's not as good as a profile, but like, we'll work it out. And then the date
Like,
doesn't
maybe
go
he
that
thinks
well.
the same.
Probably first date, I had jitters, he had jitters. It could be better, so we'll try again. And then they have the audacity to ghost you? Like, baby, look in the mirror. How am I dating down and you're ghosting me?
I find this so dumb. Like, it doesn't even matter what the guy looks like or what she looks like. If you're a shit person, you're a shit person, okay? I mean, she does sound like a shit person, like the fact that she's making this video. You could be the prettiest person out there. That doesn't mean that every single person that goes on a date with you should like feel like honored and put you on a pedestal because of that. I have to say though, was that guy really that subpar if she is this emotional about it? If he was, shouldn't you be happy that he didn't want to go on a second date?
Yeah, run home and tell your friends you didn't want to go out with a hot girl again.
Oh, he must not have read the signs. See, she is so hot that you have to be this attractive to reject her. Anything lower than this attractive, you're so ugly that you have to do whatever she says.
Yeah, that's stupid.
No, but for real, this is really goofy. I'm just getting
is.
nice guy, whatever, I didn't want you anyways vibes. Here's the thing, he didn't ghost you because he's subpar. He ghosted you.
Oh, sorry, he ghosted. I mean, if you make a video like that, I can already see like your personality. That probably also means that he could see your personality and it's not a good one.
Because he could tell that you see him as subpar.
Yeah.
If you view a man as less than yourself, he's gonna pick up on that. A man is looking for someone who's gonna see him as an equal, not someone to idolize, to worship.
I find that funny because like we're all searching for that. We're all searching for someone that doesn't see themselves as above us, right? But I guess maybe she's searching for someone that's below her, so that's really bad.
Once he finds someone who treats him as an equal, then he will worship the ground she walks on. But he knew you were never gonna see him as a king. No one's too hot to get rejected. No one's too hot to get ghosted. And no one's too hot to get out of getting called out for making a post so superficial and entitled.
Yes.
So next time you want to call a guy subpar, make sure you aren't crying over him first.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you call him subpar, but you make this video that makes me think you probably didn't think he was that subpar, because otherwise, why are you so emotional?
So this creator matched with a gentleman on Bumble, they set up a date, and then the night before he sends her this. Hey there, I was excited for tomorrow and did a little pre-date Googling just now and saw your TikTok. Well, I thought some of the videos were funny. Others, for example, the one about all men being trash, made me pause and gave me the impression we're not the right partner fit.
Yeah, probably
to which she, of
not.
course, replies, I love when they tell on themselves.
What
The
did they
ironic thing
tell?
about this video is that he isn't the one who told on himself. She is. That's the whole reason he was able to glean enough red flags to call off the date. I think Googling someone before a date is super
Oh, is that what she's talking about? That he Googled her? But that is so normal to do. I think everyone should be doing that. I don't know why you would not do that. If you haven't met each other yet, you have been talking on a dating app, to be safe, just Google him or her or whoever you're about to go on a date with. You don't want to end up with a serial killer or something. Being catfished, I don't know. I think it's super normal to do this.
and something you should honestly be expecting at this point. I don't know if you know this, but if you give someone your phone number, there are apps that can generate every single social media that you have off of that. I know it's really popular right now for creators to be making accounts just for the purpose of bad dating stories and criticisms of men, like this creator has. But you can't blame guys for not wanting to be that next bad dating story.
I wouldn't want to be either.
Piece for your content. If he was able to find that page through a very preliminary Bumble search, it is very tied to your identity, by the way. It's not really a radical concept that a man might not want to be publicly associated with a woman who posts things like this.
Me when being mean to men becomes... What the f***? You want to date a man?
It really is a fascinating timeline to watch women post publicly about how little they think of men, and then have the audacity to literally post, where have all the good men gone?
But honestly, it's so damn funny, man. It's so damn funny. My first language is not English, so sometimes when I'm trying to explain this stuff, I feel like I'm not really getting everything across that I'm trying to say. But I try my best, and I hope you understand. If I am a woman, what? I am a woman, right? If a guy would publicly state everywhere and also tell me that he hates women, but at the same time he wants to go on a date with me, why the f would I go on a date with a guy that says that he hates women when I am women? If he hates all women, then means he hates me too, even if he says he doesn't, because he literally said he hates all women, and all women includes me. Say that if it really is true that I'm like one of the only women that he does like, I would feel so insecure and unhappy in my relationship probably, because someone who, I guess his opinions are so strong, right? Or her opinions in this case, they're so strong that she keeps on making videos about it, right? And posting it on TikTok. So that means that I have to hear that every single day, how he hates all women around me. But that also means at the same time that what if I have the same morals as these women that he's bad-mouthing? Or like I had the same ideas as those women that he's bad-mouthing? What would that do to me mentally, you know? So no, he has all the right to do that. He didn't do anything bad.
Ma'am, they're in hiding, and women like you put them there. Men, by now I'm sure you've learned the number one thing a woman never wants to be to you is your mama. It is known. But ladies, one thing that took me a little bit too long to realize myself is that they also don't want you to be their mother. And it might not feel like it, right? Because he might let you clean up after him. He might let you take over the schedule, right? He definitely wants you to take care of him when he's sick. All things that a mother might do.
I would like him to take care of me too when I'm sick. That seems normal. This is what you do for your partner.
That doesn't mean that he wants you to mother him. If there's a Venn diagram between a mother's love and a partner's love, all of the aforementioned examples are gonna be in the middle. But I'm telling you, he only wants the partner parts and the middle parts, not the mom parts. And we can't say that's too unlike ourselves. If a person starts providing something, be that cooking, cleaning, paying the bills, we are going to naturally allow that to happen. I mean, if a man takes it upon himself to start paying for the majority of bills and dates and trips, we aren't going to complain about that. But are most men leaving their messes behind with the expectation that you are supposed to pick up after him? No. Nor should you be picking up after him unless, and hard unless, you genuinely want to help him and aren't just pocketing it as resentment fodder for later. Best thing to do to get on the same page and away from the weird Freudian dichotomy is to talk to each other the way parents and children don't. Sit down and take turns laying out what chores you're already doing, because you might not even realize what the other person does. Then talk about chores that still need to be done and divide them out without anybody bossing each other around. Take the time to hear out why a person does or prioritizes things the way they do. And do it over wine and cheese.
We're not all the same.
Tequila shots, because moms and dads don't do that with their kids now, do they? You are lovers. You are lovers who share a home. So no matter how much you annoy each other, put that first when you talk to each other, because trust me, neither of you wants you to be the mom.
That there's this guy, and I called him to ask if he wanted to hang out, and he was like, no, sorry, I can't. And I was like, oh my god, what is going on today? Like, no one wants to hang out. You were literally the last person. He got so mad. He was like, what number am I? What number?
Wait, why would...
Then I told him 9.
Wait, she told the guy that she asked other guys before him to hang out, and he was like the last one?
He was so mad.
I don't get what is funny. I'm so confused. What is happening here?
It was so funny. I love to humble a man.
This is such coke.
Why? You called him.
She literally just got rejected, then made up a fake roster to try to put him down for rejecting her, and she thinks that he's the one getting owned.
Yeah, she's really coping.
Even if this roster was real, all you're doing is telling him how many times you rejected before he also rejected you. And why does he need to be humbled? Like, what makes him tough?
Oh my god, I just realized she got rejected 9 times. Damn.
Write this down, boys. Saying no to women is toxic, so... don't do that. The comment section is also full of chicks with zero self-awareness, posting their L's and thinking they're flexing. One time a guy I was on a date with asked when the last time was I hooked up with someone. I was like, you really want to know? Last night. He was in his feels.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, dude, I'm pretty sure you'd be in your feels.
Yeah, I want to say, like, why do they all pretend like they wouldn't feel the same way? If that woman that was, like, laughing at the guy after she said, oh yeah, you were the 9 guy I called, as if she wouldn't feel, like, mad and upset if he would say that to her.
Two, if you're your date told you he just got done being inside of someone else. It's just not the most attractive thing to hear. A guy asked me what I would be doing if he didn't ask me out. I said likely having dinner with someone.
Why the fuck would you say that?
He was probably just trying to figure out what kind of activities you
Why are you so aggressive?
like to do outside of dating.
They're
but
so
yeah, let's just
aggressive.
make everything a personal event.
Yeah.
Always ask, why did your barber do that to your hair?
Why would you?
This is the same shit that made you guys hate Andrew Tate. This actually is really good dating advice if you only like having first dates. I'm sure there are some groups who appreciate
only
this
like having
trend
first
of women
dates.
being these independent bad bitches who could be mean to men because they don't need them. But most of us just see a bunch of crybabies who got nerfed and are now just desperately trying to make it look like not getting the guy was their goal all along.
Yes,
this is literally
exactly.
the female equivalent to whatever, she was ugly anyway. But at least pickup artists have the decency to admit they're being players. You guys are still trying to make it look like you're doing something good by calling it humbling men.
They look ridiculous.
And really, you're just being needlessly shitty to them. How about we humble ourselves and be honest by changing the title of this series from How to Humble Toxic Men to How to Stay Chronically Single.
What valuable lessons I've learned on men. So counterintuitive, but it's true. Don't do anything for them. I know that sounds so f***ed up, especially if you're a giver. Don't do it. It is the worst thing you can do with them.
No!
The second that a man sees that you're willing to give equal to or more than what they're willing to give is the second that they stop valuing you.
What?
Men will never respond to your giving as example setting. They're never going to go, oh wow, she bends over backwards and goes out of her way for me, so I'm going to do that too. That's not how they work.
Never. So that advice was not good.
There was something.
This is exactly like when male pickup artists tell each other to neg women. If you don't know what negging is because you are an innocent angel, it is basically
I
when
don't
you
know what it
speak
is.
so negatively to a woman that you damage her self-esteem enough to potentially give you a chance based purely out of
The fuck? That is fucked up.
I'm
Disgusting.
not joking. And no, it doesn't actually work on anyone.
No.
That doesn't stop her from trying, though.
There's only one reason why a man in a heterosexual relationship will not initiate sex with his woman. One reason only. Low self-confidence.
Well, isn't that convenient? The only thing that could possibly stop a man from begging for you is if he hates himself. But sadly, this is a thing that toxic people, actually believe. The last time I posted something about treating men well on Instagram, I got all kinds of comments like these. This is when their confidence boosts and they start cheating.
I don't even know what to say, man. I'm not gonna lie. What?
So I guess the whole idea behind this is they will not feel secure in their relationship unless their partner feels completely insecure. And if that concept makes sense to
that
you,
is
I'm
so
sorry
toxic.
for whatever you went through that makes you feel the need to control other people. But I feel the need to warn you, this little playbook has the shelf life of an ice cube. Look, we're done with pigeon mail, okay? This whole she's hard to get but she's cute thing might last 2 weeks tops in this day and age. But once he realizes that you aren't doing anything for him, he's initiating everything. You don't plan anything. You don't engage with him. You don't.
Bro, he has self-respect. He will see that and he will be out.
Why in the world would he stick around?
Yes.
If you aren't doing anything for him.
Anyone who has self-respect, men or women, whoever the would leave. That is just f***ed up and no one deserves to be treated like that.
What is the point of you being in his life?
Yes.
Now, I'll level with you here. I do agree that leading by example doesn't work. Me scrubbing the baseboards is not going to inspire my husband.
Yeah, you shouldn't do things because you want someone else to do it. That's just not how it works. Like, that way you will only get resentment because you thought that this idea in your head is gonna make them do that. No, you need to talk.
Just like my husband installing a new sink is not going to inspire me to install a new sink. But refusing to do anything for a person because of the chance that you might not get anything out of it, and then expecting to retain a higher value.
It is f***ed up to only be doing something in the first place just because you want that person to do something for you. That is dumb.
Because of your lack of effort is actually even more delusional. And look, you don't have to do anything for men, okay? You can keep going on and never take the chance of getting taken advantage of. But everyone who has ever loved and been loved has had to risk being taken advantage of, has had to risk doing selfless things with no reward. And if you don't want to risk it, that's fine. But whatever it is you're trying to have with men, don't call it a relationship, because what you want is one-sided. Okay, so I did not realize until I was married, but there is a secret measuring tool that men use that might help you out someday, and I will tell you about it through a story time. It's me, a brand new mom. I just had my daughter and TJ at the store, and I realized, like, man, I need some new nursing bras, but I have no idea what size I am because they've changed so much. My husband goes, hold up, I got this. Proceeds to walk up to them and just...
I knew it! Did he just do something with his hands and he actually...
one. Until finally he goes, this one.
Oh
And he was
god.
right. It was perfect.
Wow, that's funny. Bye! Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please don't forget to give a like to the video and subscribe to my channel. I also stream live on Twitch and on YouTube, so follow me on Twitch or just turn on the notification bell on YouTube to know when I go live. I hope to see you there. Bye!